See how it sounds here.
All right, sounds good.
Can you hear me all right?
I can. Can you? Oh yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Sweet, that works.
All right. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. All right. Well, hi, everybody. Good evening and welcome back to the Calvin University Sports Channel on YouTube and the nightcap of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame tournament. And we've got a special one here tonight, a renewal of one of the all-time greatest rivalries in all of college sports. It just happens to be now in ACHA Division I hockey, as it's the Calvin Knights against the Hope Flying Dutchmen. Yours truly, Captain Lou, here with you, and we got a special treat again tonight as we get to bring back an old voice of Calvin hockey. As it's a pleasure of mine to introduce my tag team partner for tonight, Scott Cooper. Scott, welcome to the broadcast. How are you?
Well, thank you very much for the warm welcome. And I don't know how special it is for everyone else, but it's definitely special for me. I had a ton of fun calling games here throughout my college career and even a few years after. And to be here for the Knights taking on the Flying Dutchmen in a classic packed arena here at Eagles Ice Center, well, it just means the world to me.
Well, I'm glad that you're here with us tonight, and it's going to be standing room only. It's funny, as these two teams played earlier this year. You and I talked about it briefly before we came on. They split one on each's home ice. And we've seen a lot of battles with these two teams at the D3 level, standing room only in this barn. And it's, I think this is going to have the making, Scott, of another dandy here tonight.
Absolutely. Each team coming in highly ranked, Calvin at number 10 and Hope at number 14 in the entire nation, having already split the season series. It's going to be a tight battle all the way through.
And you know, Scott, you've done a lot of these back again when they were both D3, and I don't care what the records are, you could throw them out the window when these two teams play, and it's going to be electric here.
It's going to be electric, and to know that the Hope Flying Dutchmen really haven't skipped a beat, the defending D3 champions of the nation, and they hop right up to the D1 level, and they're already playing at a pretty tremendous clip, having beat the Indiana Tech Warriors coming into tonight and even splitting against fellow local rival Davenport.
Yeah, Davenport, of course, played earlier tonight in the opener against Grand Valley, and Grand Valley jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Then they got on the strength of a power play and shorthanded goal, and then Davenport tied it up with a shorthanded goal and an even strength goal, but Grand Valley prevailed. So they're going to sit back and watch and see who they're going to play in the winner in the championship game. And then Davenport will play in the consolation game against the loser tonight's game. So it's a great setup, Scott, for this Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame tournament. You know, the level of talent in Grand Rapids for hockey is really grown exponentially.
Absolutely. Even from my time just beginning watching this team when Aquinas and Calvin were facing off in the D3 National Championship, all the way to having all these highly ranked programs coming in, it's truly an honor to be a part of the sport growing and just knowing the influence that Calvin has had on that, and especially our late and great coach, Mike Petrusma.
Absolutely. You know, last year, Calvin, both teams went to nationals down in St. Louis. Calvin made it to the second round in D1. It seemed they seemed to always get the bad luck draw of getting Adrian in the second round, but I don't think that's going to matter this year. I think, you know, we'll wait and see in March. And then, of course, the D3 team getting to the nationals and really playing until the last day of pool play for meaningful games. They dropped the game to get into the semis. But so, yeah, the level of Calvin hockey is amazing. And, of course, Hope, that game last year when they trailed 3-1 to Air Force after 40 minutes of play and then scored 5 goals unanswered in the third period. And there, you mentioned it. They've kept that level going up to the D1 level, and it's exciting. It's a bright future ahead for Hope as well.
Yep, a lot of hope for Hope, you could say.
Exactly. Well, we mentioned it. These two teams come in splitting in the regular season. Both members now of the new GL6 conference, and that's a stacked conference. I believe 4 of the teams are ranked in the top 24, and Davenport is right on the outside looking in. And so it's you've got Adrian, Hope, Calvin, Grand Valley, Purdue Northwest, so that's 5.
Absolutely. I actually got to see the Knights down in Hammond, Indiana. That's my local stomping grounds, and Yeah, Calvin is hard to knock off the puck. They're treating their offense very well, and they're quick on the attack, and they are formidable when they are on their game.
Yeah, I had a chance. I went down to the Chicago Classic that the Capper Hockey Services put on and had a chance to watch Purdue Northwest a couple of games down there. And, yeah, they're not an easy out. They'll go to the Nationals again this year, as if the rankings hold out, so will Hope and so will Calvin. And, yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what they do in the second half. This is the last weekend. Scott, I always call it, with doing my ACHA podcast, I call this part of the schedule the marathon. And then when you get after Christmas, you've got about 6 to 7 weeks to get ready. That's the sprint. And so that's when the action picks up with conference tournaments and regional play at the lower levels, and so much fun in ACHA hockey. It's grown so much since you and I first started doing these games here in Michigan.
Absolutely, and there are just no easy outs. The more we discuss it, the more I'm thinking about it. I mean, even at the professional level, there's conversations all the time in the National Hockey League about, oh, well, you know, you have to face your own division first. That can be a tough matchup. Maybe we should do 1 versus 8. Meantime, I'm thinking there's just no easy out.
No.
Like, if you can't beat the people in your own division, I don't know if you necessarily have any business calling yourself a champion.
Well, the one thing that you want to do at the D1 level for the ACHA, obviously, to get when you get to the Nationals, you want to be in the top 8 so you get the opening round bye. Calvin's been close. They were, I believe, 11 last year. They won their opening round matchup and then faced Adrian. As we mentioned, Adrian went to the championship game after winning it all the year before. So that's the goal. You know, I've talked to Josh Petrusma about it, and Calvin was ranked 5th. They had a tough weekend down in Maryville, losing to Arizona and Liberty, and then in overtime to Maryville, I believe. But
that's correct.
You know, stiff competition nonetheless. I mean, when you've got 4 ranked teams in the top, 12, 15,
I believe they were all top 10 teams, yes.
So it's nothing to hang your head down about. But shoot, after Christmas, we play Adrian. Then they're taking a ride out to who I believe right now is the best team in the country, and that's Minot State. They played in Chicago, and boy, did they look good. And Calvin's playing them in February to tune up before the GL6 tournament. So they've got a big schedule ahead of them, including tonight.
Yeah, Coach Josh has not gone easy on them in making this schedule.
No.
I think it just shows the amount of confidence that he has in this squad. And he knows that they can hang with some of the best teams in the country. I mean, they didn't get blown out in any of these games this past weekend. They were hanging along the whole time. And now they hope to get back to their winning ways here at Eagles Ice Center in front of their arch rivals.
Yeah, they've had some fun games over the last couple of years. Last year they made the trip to Liberty and won both games in overtime. I think 7-6 and 4-3. It was fun to watch from afar, those games. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting one here. You can see the referees are coming out onto the ice, so they'll get their loops around for their last warm-ups, and then both teams will be out on the ice. They get the Bronx cheer from the Calvin crowd. No love lost. It's a great rivalry with Hope and Calvin. You know, yeah, they'll chide each other in the stands, but it is respectful, and that's what makes it fun.
Right. They're brothers in Christ, but they don't necessarily have to go easy on each other when they're direct opponents out on that ice surface. They're always fighting their hardest, especially when they're facing each other, and it's going to be a dandy here tonight.
Well, there's Calvin's coming out first in their road jerseys, their black ones, and then you've got the Flying Dutchman coming out in their orange jerseys. It's yeah, this is what we love about this game. Packed house is so much fun. So we're just about set to go, Scott. Why don't we send it aside down to our public address announcer for the starting lineups, playing in the national anthem, and we'll get this one going. Before we do, it's the Dutchman. It's the Knights. And it's coming up next right here on Calvin University Sports Network on YouTube.
Calvin University Knights. Here are your starting lineups. First for Hope, Starting at left defense, number 18, Austin Yu. Number 15, Cody Pratt. Number 12, Logan May. Starting at right wing, number 13, Ryan Carnes. Starting at goal for the Dutchman, number 33, Sebastian Lindsay. And now for the Calvin Knights. Starting at left defense, number 5, Ali Garmanov. Starting at right defense, number 4, Colby Price. Starting at left wing, number 10, Trent Benedict. Starting at center, number 71, Steven Hicks. Starting at right wing, number 86, Daniel Ciso. And starting at goal for the Knights, number 29, Abe Fedema. Canada and the United States.
All right, the playing of the national anthem. The starting lineups are announced. That means it's go time, Scott. The Dutchmen and the Knights. Let's drop the puck and let's get this one going, eh?
Oh, I can't wait to dig in, partner, especially looking at this goaltending matchup that we have tonight. Sebastian Wakefield of Hope coming in with a 2.36 goals against average and a .921 save percentage. Meanwhile, the Knights faithful have Aiden Fedema between the pipes at a 2.28 goals against average and a .927 save percentage. So maybe a slight edge to Fedema in the numbers, but it's really just a rounding error at that point. We know that both goaltenders are going to be solid in their positioning. They're going to be maybe even doing some acrobatic stuff, and they're giving their teams a chance to win every night.
You know, and Hope College has got two of the top scorers in the nation in Division I, and Stephen Ickes is always right near the top as well in points scored. All-American last year, I believe second team if I'm not mistaken. So we've got a lot of pedigree here. Josh Petrusma, Chris Van Timmeren, you talk about pedigree with the coaching. Man, it's everywhere here in this sellout crowd as they're still filing in to the Eagles Ice Center. All right, the Knights in their dark jerseys, the brown jerseys with the white and gold trim as this one's played deep in the Hope zone. Held in and just wide of the goal. They'll be going from right to left. Hope in their orange jerseys with the blue and white trim, blue numerals, blue helmets. They'll be going from left to right on your television screen, computer, however you're watching around the world here on the Calvin University Sports Channel. Here comes Ayuder up over the line. He'll dump it down towards Fedema, and he'll hold on to it. So here we go, 31 seconds in, no score.
And already I noticed there was just a little bit of a clip on Darmenov, just a little bit of a touch after the whistle. He, of course, remains his steady, calm composure, as you would expect. But I'm going to be watching for some extracurriculars as we go on.
Jake Onstadt won the draw, and it's now dumped away. Onstadt, one of the heroes last year in that championship game against Air Force. And as we'll get another face-off down in the Calvin end to the right of Fedema. Onstadt will take the draw as he'll go up against Tony Eaton. Tony Eaton's a spark plug, Scott. Love watching him play.
Oh, absolutely.
Played down into the Hope zone, over into the near corner. Puck held in at the blue, or now dumped down into the Calvin end. Petrula will chase after it. Played around the boards over to the far side. They'll look to clear out to center ice. They go. Zimmerman had his pocket pick. Now it's going to be played back out at center ice. Petrula will dump it down into the Hope zone. Chasing after it for the Dutchman was Carson Mattern as well. Deep in the Hope end. They look to try to clear. They'll throw it down, and we will get our first icing call of the game. 18:41 to go in the opening period, no score.
And speaking of maybe getting some tired guys out there, I noticed as I was looking at the track record for each of these two teams this season, Hope has played 19 games, going an impressive 15-4. Calvin has only played 12, so while Stephen Ickes has been scoring at a similar clip to, say, Logan Nicholas, he's not quite up there in points just because he hasn't had the opportunity. Maybe the Knights are going to be feeling a bit fresher.
Yeah, we'll get another icing call. Yeah, Hope had one series canceled earlier this year. They were scheduled to play Drury here in Grand Rapids, but that got canceled. That would have been an amazing series too. Drury's a top 5 team right now in the country in their second year in D1. Face-off will be to the right of Wakefield. There's a shot. Oh, shouldered away at the last minute. And a big hit in behind the goal. Laying the lumber that time was Lou Vesperini. Played out into the neutral zone. Adamick will throw it back down into the Hope end. And we're going to get a whistle. And a stoppage of play is getting up a little bit gingerly after that hit. Was Colton Loffer, I believe. And he'll be helped off to the bench.
Yeah, some unfortunate geometry going on that hit. I don't know if Lou Vesperini necessarily meant to mash him into the boards, but sometimes you have to let go. You have to let up a little bit, I should say, when you see the numbers going into the boards. And we're just hoping that everything's okay over on the Hope bench.
Actually, that was Carson Maynard that was helped off. And I know the Vesperini family is watching tonight in Montreal, Quebec. And I know Lou's grandmother, who doesn't speak English, is watching. So bonsoir, Grandma. His folks have been here a few times. Very, very fun to catch up with them. And I know they're watching tonight for sure in this heated rivalry as the referees are camped out in front of the penalty box area. The captains are waiting too. So I think we're going to get a little come to, Jesus meeting, if you want to. All right, boys, let's keep it clean.
Right. I know that we maybe had a catalyst going on behind the play just for a little bit there. And now Vesperini's trying to plead his case. It looks like he was going palms up for a moment.
Well, they're still talking to the captains, and now they'll talk to the benches, will the referees. You're right, Scott. Vesperini's still having a discussion with the referee, and he's going to go to the bench, or to the box, for the penalty. So the first power play opportunity of the night's going to go to the Dutchman at 1:40.
Yep, Lou Vesperini, always a very tight checking player, always very hard on the puck, and maybe just going a little bit too far on that hit.
It's going to be a 5-minute major, too.
Oh, boy.
Yep. Boarding's the call, I believe. That's a big break for the Dutchman as the draw is handled by Hope. They'll hold it in at the blue line. Played over on the far side, held in there. Played by Trevor Davis. Onstadt with it over on the near side, in behind the goal. Nicholas has it. There's a shot, rebound, tipped around and cleared down the length of the ice.
Well, Calvin was maybe taking a little bit too much time to clear that out. The puck was loose just for a moment in front. We can't necessarily expect the Dutchman to be lying back on all such plays. Knights have to be careful here.
Onstadt tried to feed his left winger and it got deflected, so now they play it deep down into the Calvin zone. Puck will go out to the blue line. It's tipped. Now here comes Calvin. Right out at center ice, trying maybe for a shorthanded opportunity. Zimmerman, Hayden Zimmerman with a little dipsy-do move. But now it's played out at the blue line. Out to center ice they come. Onstadt will bring it up over the line. He'll set it up over on the far side. Ryan Jaros, there's the shot, he scores! Hope gets the early advantage on the power play goal. And it's 1-0 Hope. Time of the goal, 2 minutes and 46 seconds.
And you mentioned the dipsy doodle by Zimmerman the other way. Being caught behind the play opened up some more ice, and Savardi and Spinorama on the assist there for Hope. Found the open man right in front, and it is 1-0 Dutchman.
So 2:46 the time of that power play goal. And the Dutchmen get on the board first, as they're going to help Carson Matern off the ice out into the locker room area. And let's hope that he's okay. I know it's tough to see. You know, you don't want to see something like that in a big matchup anytime, actually. But the power play goal early gives Hope a 1-0 lead, Scott, and they still have 3:55 left with the extra attacker.
Yep, the length of almost 2 entire minor penalties, and no matter how much they score, they're still going to have that man advantage. So Calvin is going to have to try to tighten things down here.
All right, right out of the chute, 1-0 Hope. Number 14 Dutchman against the number 10 Calvin Knights. Ayuder now will bring it up over the line.
Oh.
We got a broken stick from Adamick. Spinning with it is Ayuder now out to the blue line. This one deflected out into the center ice area. Fonovic, he's come in on all alone. Here's an opportunity. Short-handed, the goalie out of the goal, but Wigfield able to get back in net. So big opportunity for the Knights as it's played out to center ice.
Yeah, narrow miss there. Good job by the Dutchman to crash the slot.
Here comes Paulakis in behind the goal. Now pressure being applied by the Dutchman. Still 3:13 left with the extra man. Played over on the far side. This one will be held in at the blue line by Ayuder. Little give and go over there. The Dutchman can feel it. Hunter Sedlinski in as well, pinned up against the boards. Trying to make a play on it. The Knights try to clear. They can't. Now it's deflected over to the near side. Alec John plays it in behind the goal over to the far side. Play tipped around over into the corner area. They'll fight for the puck there. Now the Dutchmen have control at the blue line. John with a play kind of whipped on it. It's over in the near corner. 1-0 Hope. Still 2 minutes and 30 seconds left with the extra attacker right out in front end. Calvin able to dump it down the length of the ice.
Yep, Calvin getting a much-needed change here, especially with how hard they had fought to try to get a goal the other way. They had some gas Knights out there. Thankfully, fresh legs now.
Up over the line, Trevor Davis. He'll throw it out into the neutral zone. Onstadt brings it up, throws one just wide, knocked away by Fedema. In behind the goal, they fight for it there. Played over to the far side. Davis knocked off the puck, now played over at the blue line. Here comes Zimmerman again. He's got it. It eludes him as he comes up over the line. Now he'll bring it up into the Hope zone. Bounced off the puck. The Dutchmen come up with it. They'll skate it cross ice. Jaros, his pocket is picked. Nifty move by Eaton. He'll bring it up over the line shorthanded again. He comes in, odd-angled shot off the shoulder of Wakefield with 1:35 left in the power play.
Oh, and you can see it in the Knights' eyes. They want to get another one. They want to get not another one, just anyone at all, an equalizer.
Up over the line on the far side. Bounced off the puck that time was Cade Pratt. They chop away at it out to the blue line. Now over to the near side. Nice pass over to the far side, this time for Onstadt. Plays it over in behind the net. Centering play tipped away out to Davis. And we're going to get a whistle and a stoppage of play. 1:09 left with the extra attacker. 14:28 to go with a 1-0 Hope lead.
Oh, it's the nets. It's always the nets here at Eagles Ice Center. Oh, now it's beginning to feel like a classic game I called of yore.
Fonovic will take the draw. He'll go up against Alec John to the right of Fedema. Won by the Dutchman out to the point, the blue line with it. Ayuder over to the far side. There's a drive that was deflected just wide. Played around the boards. It goes in behind the net. Centering play deflected over to the near corner. The Dutchman still flying around with the extra man. Ayuder has it at the blue line. Over to the far side. They play it. There's a shot deflected away. Taken that time by Kritzman. Now it's going to be played out to the point. Now to the near side. Into the slot area, stolen away. Eaton, he'll just dump it down the length of the ice with 35 seconds left in the major penalty to Vesperini.
And you notice Adamic fighting in front of the net there. He was feeling for his mouth a little bit. I don't know if he took a stick up high or what, but he was still fighting down low, and eventually that hard work translates into a clear.
There we go
and
again. Ickes knocked off the puck.
Oh.
Penalty coming up to Hope. Ayuder got Ickes into the boards, and that'll do it for the remainder of the power play for the Dutchman, and the Knights will get an opportunity in 17 seconds to go on the power play. 6:24 the time of the Hope penalty.
And thankfully it looks like Steven Ickes, even though it could have been a dangerous hit, he got up right away and skated off, and now right back on to take the draw. He's a huge weapon for these Calvin Knights. They couldn't afford to lose him in a situation like this.
Niklas and Ickes will be the face-off participants to the left of Wakefield. Off the draw, Hope wins it. They'll take it in behind their own goal. They'll play it around the boards. Dixon made the play on it. Little give and go behind the net. Now the outlet. Niklas will bring it quickly up over the line. He'll weave his way into traffic. Here comes Calvin. Calvin now will skate it out of the zone. They'll bring it up over the line. Eaton drops it back off to Ickes. Over on the far side, Eaton. There's a blast!
Oh,
wide.
My goodness.
And we're going to get a penalty on Hope as Ickes gets nailed from behind, pushing and shoving now as the action is heating up. And I think we could get a 5-on-3 for the Knights as Ickes will skate off. And here we go.
And of course, as Ickes skates off, he makes sure to turn around and jaw just a little bit at the Dutchman bench. Ever the gamer, he's always competing.
Boy, time of this penalty, 6:54. So a 5-on-3 for a minute and a half. And you're going to see the captains out there again. Onstadt now. Nick Justice will wait for explanations. So, well, this is a golden opportunity, Scott, for the Knights with a 5-on-3 for a minute and a half.
Absolutely, and they did have to maintain a level head and not escalate after the play, because of course if you try to go for your own broken stick revenge on an orange sweater, you could end up going to the box too and nullifying that advantage. But Knights are able to maintain their composure, and they're awarded with a minute and a half 5-on-3.
And they're talking to Onstadt and to Justice. Hey, come on, boys. We got a lot of good hockey left. Let's keep it above board here. So the face-off will be in the Hope end. As they'll bring it down to the left of Wakefield.
Petrella, Ickes, and Eaton out. All the big guns for the Knights.
Marshall Beaker, he's had a heck of a year so far for the Knights in the early going. The newcomer. Nick Justice. So we've got Onstadt out there for Hope as well. Our vantage point a little bit secluded over there in the far side with his sellout crowd.
It's a good problem to have, partner.
Boy, it sure is.
Yeah, normally the sight lines can be relatively clear here at Eagles Ice Center. Not that the Knights have no support here. We have wonderful fans, but they're just in greater number today and denser than ever.
C.J. Henke's going to serve the minor penalty. So 5-on-3 now for the Knights. Off the draw, played over in the corner. That's a 5-minute major on Henke too. So now Calvin's going to have a 5-minute power play. There's a shot. Beaker's shot deflected and cleared down into the Calvin end. Fedema will come out to play it. Justice will skate it now out of into the neutral zone. He'll drop it back off. Calvin will look to set it back up. Minute 4 left in the 5-on-3. Then they'll have about 3 minutes and change of an extended power play. Play in behind the goal now. Calvin trying to come up with possession of the puck. Held in at the blue line. Now over in the near corner. Out to the point. To the far side of the goal. Eaton looking to set up just off the side of the net. Ickes had an opening but couldn't quite get the angle. Justice has it. Far side. There's a shot. Rebound. He scores! Steven Ickes gets the equalizer on the 5-on-3 power play. And it's a 1-1 tie. And that for the Knights is a power play goal.
Who else but Ickes to put it away? Who else but Ickes to draw that penalty in the first place? And who else but Ickes to make that clean zone entry? I was scratching my head a little bit on the drop pass and all that time that they gave Hope to set up, but of course the man that they were looking for was 71 in black, and he has that puck on a string out there, and he made that entry clean, and he gets rewarded on it later in the shift with the GPPG.
And they still have 4 minutes and 5 seconds left of the extended power play on the major penalty to Henke. So now here we go with it into the neutral zone. Zimmerman will skate it up over the line. He weaves through traffic. Does an about face now as he'll set it up in the high slot. He'll drop it off. Pratt whipped on the opportunity. He'll regroup and hand it back off. There's a shot deflected just wide. Trent Benedict with a blast. Played over in the near corner, played around the boards. Benedict will wait for it. He's got it in behind the goal. Vesperini with it, back out on top. Pratt into the high slot, back out to the point. Zimmerman will weave with it. He'll play it over to the far side. Benedict with a turnaround blast. It's loose right out in front. Oh, an opportunity for the Knights, but they still have possession. Played over on the far side. Benedict now to the point. Over to the near side. Oh, past the stick of Zimmerman. Hope trying to clear. Calvin cannot. They do hold it in. Played over at the blue line. Now this one will be dumped down the length of the ice.
And it's just amazing to see the amount of skill that some of these players have out there. And just seeing in the NHL the parallels of the Bedards and the Celebrinis of the world taking over the sport with that high-end skill, even though they may not be the tallest, biggest players. Here's a break the other way.
Here's an opportunity with a shorthanded blast and gloved off by Fedema. Good heads-up play by the Dutchman. As that, I believe, was Cade Pratt with the opportunity. But Fedema able to stave him off to keep it a 1-1 tie.
Yeah, Fedema holding it just long enough to get a stoppage of play. Looks like he did want to play it, but the whistle came in just a little bit too soon.
Still 2.5 left in the power play for the Knights. They'll skate it out of the zone. Eaton with some wheels. He'll bring it up over the line on the far side. He's got Petrula with him. Now he'll come in right through the goal mouth, but it's whisked away. Over into the corner. Held in at the blue line by Justice. Over to the far side. Good puck work by the Knights. Justice has it. There's a blast that sailed just wide by Marshall Beaker. Out to the blue line with it. They'll throw this one towards the net, tipped just wide. In behind the goal, Eaton will play it out to Beaker again. Beaker holds it in. Plays over to the near corner. Coming in on goal, Eaton. He's bounced off the puck right to Beaker. Eaton again in the corner. They jam at it over in the near side. Now played out to the point. Give and go. Beaker holds it in. Plays it over to the face-off circle area. Comes in. And behind the net, he'll look to center it. Plays it over to the far side. 1.5 minutes left still with the extra attacker. Played in behind the goal now. They look to set it up. There's an odd-angled shot kicked away as Petrula tried to sneak one past. Another try. Puck now lodged into the netting. 1:24 to go in the power play. 9.5 in the period. 1-1 tie.
And I was wondering, what is Kingsbury doing the whole time? It looked like he was doing a bit of a crab walk, kind of like a second goalie out there for the Dutchman. It looks like he maybe lost a skate blade out there, so he was doing his best to position himself. But Dylan Kingsbury with no quit on the play, and eventually does get the stoppage of play for the Dutchman.
Face-off will be to the left of Wakefield. Fonovic will take the draw against Onstadt. Played in behind the goal. Played over to into the far corner. Benedict holds it over to the near side to Pratt. Pratt has it there. He'll dump it towards the net. Tipped just wide. Vesperini was looking for it. Hope able to clear. Almost, oh boy, they almost had a golden opportunity shorthanded as Dvorak was coming in the neutral zone area, but Calvin able to regroup. Well, kind of a, not really a lazy play, but almost a careless opportunity that time, as Calvin now will skate it out into the neutral zone. Pratt will go up over the line on the far side into the near far corner. He'll still have possession of the puck. 40 seconds left. Vesperini holds it in. Plays it over to the far side. They try to center one, deflected away. Now back out to the point. Pratt has it there. Almost loses control. This one tipped high and off the safety netting, out of play. 8.5 to go in this 1-1 tie.
Only 28 seconds left to get on the same page for the Knights. It looks like there was even a miscommunication in their own zone about who was going to take the puck up, and maybe people being a little bit too unselfish here in deciding who's going to get a shot away.
So now we'll see Dario Cicchino in with Eaton and Petrula. Adamick and Beaker back on defense. Still a 5-on-4, played over in the near corner. In behind the net is played by Petrula. He'll play it out to the point. Now out to Adamick. Adamick, his rising shot. Rebound right out in front off the chest of Wakefield. There's a play again right out into the doorstep area, and Wakefield will hang on. I'll tell you what, Scotty's a big reason it's still a 1-1 tie. Wakefield's been strong the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, Wakefield has been making some solid stops. You do need your goaltender to steal a few for you if you want to be a winning team. And Hope has also been doing a good job of cleaning up the crease pretty soon after some of these plays.
Beaker at the point, dumps it down into the near corner. 5 seconds left with the extra attacker. Played over into the near corner. They'll chop away at it there. There's a centering play, but it's going to float all the way back out to center ice. Power plays are over. We're back to 5-on-5. It's been a while since we've been able to say that, but the pressure's still in the Hope end. The Dutchman will come up with it. They'll skate it out of the zone. Lead pass a little bit too strong, as chasing after it for the Dutchman was Colton Loffer. Now tipped into the Hope end. 7:40 to go here in this opening period, a 1-1 tie. 2 power play goals have been scored here. Well, almost a clean steal by Benedict as it's played deep in the Hope end. Cecil with some pressure deep in the Hope zone. Another play taken away. Ickes holds it in over to the far side. There's a play over. Odd-angled shot deflected away over into the near corner. They'll chop after it over there in the corner. Held in by Ickes. Nifty move to play it over into the near corner again. Zimmerman tried to center one. Played in behind the net. Held in again on the far side. Little too strong for Zimmerman. He has to chase after it. Played around the board. Ciso holds it in. Played in behind the goal. A big hit out by the blue line. Played out right out in front again. And now Hope is finally able to clear. Darmanov.
Frustrating Hope and getting into some of those passing lanes.
Benedict dumps it down into the corner. He'll go off for a change. A couple of changes for the Dutchman as well. 6:38 to go in this opening period. Puck played over on the near side, back out to the point. Vesperini has it far side. He's hounded away from the puck. Played out to the point with a blast, just wide. All the way out to the blue line. Darmanov plays it in behind the goal. Vesperini back there. He's hounded by Iuder. Now Hope able to clear. They'll skate it out of the zone the other way. Lead pass tipped up over the line. Paulakis, his play deflected into the near corner, in behind the goal. Calvin will look to slow it down for a moment. 1-1 tie, 6 minutes to go in this opening period. Couple of big penalties. Here we come with a shot. Fedemo with the save, a big hit over in the far corner. And coming in on net, trying to make a play on it that time was C.J. Henke.
Yeah, and Darmenov out there, a stalwart 6'4", big boy defenseman, much in the vein of Riley Robertson during my time here at Calvin. I just know that he loves to play the game. I don't know how much English he speaks, if I'm being fully honest, but I remember seeing him after the Purdue Northwest game, giving him a fist bump and him saying, "Heck yes." Just in that thick accent.
Oh boy, here we go, right out in front again at the doorstep. Fedema had to glove it off as Dvorak was right there looking for the scraps.
And Dvorak, not a bad hockey name at all. If you're thinking about Radek, a high draft pick back in the day, and Christian Dvorak of the Philadelphia Flyers right now.
Indeed. Face off to the left of Fedema. Dvorak again, he'll be in on the draw. And he does win the draw. There's one in traffic. Dixon tried to shoot one close. Played over on the far side. They'll chop at the puck over there. Now it's into the slot area. Calvin able to get to it, and they'll regroup with it. Eaton with it out into the neutral zone. A little too strong for Beaker. Hope able to come up with it. They'll play it around the boards. Good play by Davis. Davis with the power play goal for the Dutchman. Now here's one. Went through the slot area out to Dixon. He rolls it around in behind the goal. Played over into the far corner. They'll chase after it. Petrula tries to keep it away from the Dutchman. Now played over to the near corner. Lifted up into the neutral zone. Knocked down by Kingsbury, but here comes Cicchino. He'll come into the goal with a play deflected by Dixon before it got to the goal. Good heads-up play by Cicchino. Now out into the neutral zone, over to the far side. Played off the big hit into the corner. They'll play it in behind the net around the boards. Eaton. He'll pin it up against the boards. Now throw it over to the near side to Kingsbury. Kingsbury tries to play a carom. We got a penalty coming up, I believe, to Calvin. And we get some pushing and shoving. Let's see what they call here, Scott. Time of the penalty, 15:26.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, they're getting tied up so much after the play, it's sometimes hard to tell who exactly is going to be the one sitting. All I know is that it looks like both of these teams, at least what I'm noticing, is that a lot of these passes have a lot of mustard on them. Like even back in the Calvin end, the pass that went past Zimmerman, I'm thinking, just try to set up a play. I know you're really eager to get that puck in the net, but he has to be able to receive the pass on the other end.
Well, we've got, looks like offsetting minors. Jaros for Hope and Zimmerman for Calvin. I think the Jaros penalty was after the play. I'm not positive on that, but it looked like it. Zimmerman hauled down the right winger for Hope, but then Jaros got a minor as well. At least that's kind of what I saw, but that's why I'm up here and not down there, I guess.
I suppose. It's not an enviable task in a lot of ways to be a part of the officiating crew at really any level of hockey. It sounds like you're going to be getting a lot of flack no matter which direction you go with the calls. I thought, again, it would be on Calvin as well, because the next solid puck contact that happened after they put the arm up in the air was Aiden Fedema covering the puck down in the crease. But maybe it was just a little too much retaliation on the Hope side.
We are going to get a power play as I think Schrader's going to serve the extra 2 minutes. So we are going to have a 5-on-4. So a power play, all these penalties at 15:26. Second power play of the night for the Dutchman. This one will float out into the neutral zone. Davis has it right in front of us. He's bounced off the puck, and this one will be lifted down into the Hope end.
And you know Steven Ickes was licking his chops when he saw that puck all alone, but a wise play by Sigfield to come out and get it back to his deep core.
Extra penalty on Zimmerman for interference is what they say, so that's why we've got the power play for the Dutchman. Onstadt skates it up over the line. He'll look to go cross ice, tipped out of the zone. Good play by Ciso to play it down into the Hope end.
And Daniel Ciso with both clears. He is a key member of this penalty kill right here for the Knights.
Up over the line over on the far side. It'll be played around the boards. Davis will play it there. He throws it around the boards over to the near side. Dvorak will chase after it to hold it in. They dig away at the puck there. Onstad tried to come up with it. Ickes able to push it out of the zone, and he'll go off for a change. I think he's laboring a little bit, but he's tired as well as it's played out into the neutral, or out to the blue line, and it's dumped down by Fonovic into the Hope end.
And the Calvin faithful all crossing their fingers and toes, as many as they have, hoping that it was just maybe a little bit of a tiredness on behalf of Ickes rather than laboring any sort of injury.
3 minutes to go in the opening period, a 1-1 tie. Power play for the Dutchman for another 18 seconds. Played in behind the goal over to the far side. They'll play it out to the point. Hope looking to try to get something going. Sadinsky, his pocket is picked. Eaton with some wheels will chase after it. Actually, that's Beaker. Nifty move. Coming in on goal, Fonovic! Wakefield with a poke save right at the last second. Now the Knights back at full strength. This one dumped down into the Hope end. What a shorthanded opportunity that time for the Knights.
Yeah, Fonovic pinching at just the right time, creating the pressure and the turnover for Beaker, and he was rewarded on the other end with a golden opportunity in front.
There's one right out in front that Wakefield had to make a save. Schrader creating havoc as we'll get a whistle, and we'll see what becomes of this. 2:06 to go here in this opening period. Scott, would you expect nothing less between the Dutchman and the Knights?
Like I said, they're brothers in Christ, but that does not necessarily mean that they're going to be hand-in-hand kumbaya when they're facing each other out on the ice surface. And it looks like Super Dario is going to be taking a seat for the Knights.
Yeah, Cicchino is going to go to the box. Time of the penalty, 17:54. Third power play opportunity for the Dutchman. I know the Cicchino family's watching on the Calvin University YouTube channel, and you could see Josh Petrusma over on the bench with his arms up in the air, wondering what was that for?
Yeah, so maybe arguing for a little bit of let the boys play, because there have been a lot of extracurriculars, but Dario just going a little bit too far in the opinion of those in the stripes.
So they're going to take Zimmerman out, and they're going to put Pratt. Zimmerman's going to the box.
Zimmerman's taking a seat as well.
So maybe a double. I don't know what's going on, but it's a 5-on-4.
Or is it a 5-on? No, it is 5-on-4. Okay.
So another power play for the Knights, or for the Dutchmen rather. Penalty
and
coming
right
up now
again.
to the Knights again. Boy, this is going to be a huge, huge power play as Pratt's going to go to the box.
And the penalty box is getting a little too populated for the Knights right now. They now are down 3 players all at once in a very quick sequence within 10 seconds. Boy, in the last 2 minutes of the first.
The power play is, or the penalty kill for the Knights is going to be tested now. 151 of a 5-on-3 for the Dutchman here in this 1-1 tie. All right, Onstad will take the draw against Ickes, won by the Dutch. Pratt has it over on the far side, brings it out to Davis. Over to the far side, there's a blast up over the top of the goal. Cross-checking the call on Pratt. Played over into the near corner now. They'll look to set it up back on top to Davis. Davis has it over to the far side. Onstad plays it over to the corner. Out to the point, Onstad. He'll skate it over to Davis. Back to the near side. There's one that sailed wide. Taken by Jaros. Hope still with control of the puck. Over to the far side again. They'll skate it around the boards out to the blue line. Jaros has it. Skates it to the high slot. Over to the far side. One-time shot. Blocked away from Davis. 1:08 left to go in the 5-on-3. Played over to the far side again. They'll chase after it. Justice tries to make a play on it. Still in behind the goal. Right out in front. And we get a whistle. I think the goal may come off its moorings. So we'll get a face-off with 1:02 to go in the period. Still 57 seconds left in the 5-on-3.
Call that home ice advantage, partner. Those pegs here at Eagles Ice Center, they have a mind of their own, and it always seems to come at a good time for the Knights. They were dying to get a change in there and maybe got somewhat fortunate.
All right, this is going to be Alec John taking the draw. He'll go up against Steven Ickes, a huge face-off in this 1-1 tie. 62 seconds left in the period, won by the Dutch. Ayuder holds it in at the blue line. Skates it over to the near side. Sadinsky back to Ayuder with a blast, deflected away. Blocked by one of the Knights. And this one will float out into the neutral zone and down into the Dutch zone. Quickly, though, they'll turn around with the puck. Ayuder will skate with it at center ice. Over to the far side, Zadinsky. He's got Breet with him. But Calvin able to rifle it around the boards. And this one will go all the way down into the Hope end with 34 seconds to go in the period.
Heck yes, Starmenov was rewarded with his effort there in getting a little bit of time burned off the clock.
John over in the corner being hounded off the puck, and it's thrown down the length of the ice again. 20 seconds left in the period, 12 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Quickly, though, here come the Dutch. One last opportunity. Soliakis comes in. It's poked away. Adamic with a huge play. Big hit into the boards. There's a shot kicked over to the far side. Off the goalpost, and he scores! 1.6 seconds left in the period, and it's 2-1 Hope.
An absolute heartbreaker for the Knights. It looks like maybe they were getting a little bit of revenge in and trying to finish checks and hold some guys back. A little bit too early. There was still a game to be played, and there was all sorts of ice for Hope to sink their second goal of the game.
So a power play goal, second one of the night for the Dutchman. Those are huge, man, with 1.6 left. Now here's my question. They should be at full strength now. They are. They'll take that penalty off because the original penalty expired. So it should be even strength for both teams.
So on paper, they survived the 5-on-3.
Correct. Now I still see 4 skaters. We got a penalty coming up to Hope. After the play. So I guess I'm wrong. Oh, all right, here it is. Okay, we are right. It's 5-on-4 now. Or 5-on-5, I don't know. I just saw somebody go in the box for Hope. 1.6 left. And that's going to do it for the period, partner. But what an ending for the Dutchmen as they get the power play goal. Brady Bright at 19:59 to take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, those goals, they feel extra big, and they almost feel like they count as 2 when they come in the last minute, especially a go-ahead goal in the nature of that one right there. Knights maybe giving up just a little bit too early and trying to get some physical revenge, and they leave a man wide open in front of the net. Now, partner, I asked you before the broadcast. I wanted to point something out to the audience and maybe have a heart-to-heart with them for a moment, because calling Calvin games has meant so much to me over the years, and that I'm going to try not to get too emotional, but this is actually my first game that I've been able to call since the passing of Coach Mike Petrusma, who masterminded this program, grew it for all of these years. And I just wanted to say that if you're missing him out there, I know I am too. And I know for sure he's in a better place. I know for sure when he got to heaven, they said, "Well done, good and faithful servant," because I was actually talking with him a little bit before he passed away, one of the final conversations I had with him. And we were discussing some of what he's accomplished, and he's grown 2 formidable ACHA programs, starting off at just D3. Now we have excellent D1, D3 teams. He's a former national champion. He's had all sorts of All-Americans play for him. Elected immediately into the ACHA Hall of Fame posthumously. And when I was talking with him, and I asked him, what means the most to him, from all this time that he's been able to work with these young men. And he said, I won't out anyone because it's their faith journey to share, but he always said whenever he brought one of these young men to Christ who maybe didn't fully know him when they first entered the team, that was his greatest victory, and that's what he was most proud of in his career. So I just wanted to say rest in peace, Coach, and he gave me a chance. He saw something in me that not anybody else had, and I'm grateful for that to this day.
Very well said, Scott. You know, Mike is in a league of his own. He's Mr. ACHA, and it's amazing. I'm fortunate enough to be on the Hall of Fame committee for the ACHA, and we talked about that, before he passed, and the rule was that you had to be away from the game for a couple of years before you got elected. Because I had talked with like Phil Sweeney and Gary Astalis and some of the other coaches, Carl Trozine, and to get reference letters. And when it happened last year, we talked about it in the Hall of Fame meeting, and it got brought up that they're going to waive that rule. He needs to go in, unfortunately posthumously, but Mike is Mr. ACHA. He was, and here you can see the MP sign over in the coach's room above the ice to our right. And it's very well said, Scott.
A mentor, a valued mentor for me for all these years. Nice.
Always willing to talk anything, hockey, life in general. And when he called me 3 years ago to take over when you moved on, I did the Aquinas games for quite a few years, almost 9 years, and it was a no-brainer. And I'm fortunate enough, and now Josh is carrying on the legacy, and he's doing one heck of a job. And you mentioned it. Mike has created 2 programs here that are just thriving, and it's exciting to see. And he also helped create this Hall of Fame tournament, Mike did.
That's correct. I remember calling the first Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame tournament here at Eagles Ice Center. He's a big proponent of getting just a little bit more games in before the Christmas break and seeing what all we can showcase of the game here in the lovely city of Grand Rapids, Michigan.
And we talked about when Calvin played Aquinas in 2017 in the finals. I was blessed to be able to call that game. It was down at Columbus in the practice facility for the Blue Jackets, and talking with Bob Kaiser, whose son Sam played on Aquinas, the voice of the Griffins. He said, Lou, we could have got 5,000 to 6,000 people at Van Andel for that game easy if it would have been played in Grand Rapids. And I believe it. And that's what Mike has meant to college hockey here in Grand Rapids. And it's definitely shows. And so but I think we need to take a break. We'll catch our breath for about 8 or 9 minutes, and we'll come back for the second period. Don't go anywhere, folks. 2-1 in favor of the Dutch. The go-ahead goal at 19:59, Brady Breed on the power play. We'll be back.
Hope we're making you proud, Coach.
All right, well, welcome back, everybody. The second period is a couple minutes away from starting, but we've had ourselves a dandy in this second of two here in the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame tournament. The Dutchmen and the Knights. And the Dutchmen, on the strength of a power play goal at 19:59 from Brady Bright, has taken a 2-1 lead. Scott Cooper, along with yours truly, Captain Lou. And Scott, all three goals, power play goals here tonight in this matchup. And you mentioned it during the break, a little bit, maybe a little more discipline maybe in the second period for these two teams. It's been a little uncharacteristic of these two teams.
Right, normally very well behaved. And I was about to ask you, do you know what all three of these goals have had in common? And yes, they were all power play markers. And it looks like the man advantage units are clicking, and it looks like the refs are pulling out the whistles at the sign of distress. So you have to be very careful. You don't want to be the one to take things too far, otherwise it's going to bite you on the scoreboard.
You know, it's funny is one of my old tag team partners on the broadcast, Mark Van Vliet, who used to coach at Aquinas and played with Mike Petrusma years ago. He always used to say the worst goals are the ones in the last 2 minutes of a period or the first minute of the second of the period. So now we'll see if Calvin can overcome that last second goal, see if that's a backbreaker or not, but we still got 40 minutes to look forward to.
Yeah, and thank goodness we do, but good news for the Knights is that it's totally avoidable. With 2 minutes left in the first period, it was 5-on-5.
Yep.
10 seconds later, it was 5-on-3 due to a couple of careless penalties. So it's within their control to be able to stay out of the box and hopefully keep hope off the scoreboard.
Well, Brady Bright, by the way, got a 10-minute misconduct after the goal. So he's who went to the penalty box. So it's even strength now. And so let's see what happens as we get set for the second period. They'll switch ends. Hope in their orange jerseys with the blue and white trim, blue numerals, blue helmets. They'll be going from right to left. And Calvin in their dark brown jerseys with the white and gold trim, white numerals, gold helmets. They'll be going from left to right on your television screen computer. However you're watching around the world here on the Calvin Sports Channel on YouTube. Ickes will take the draw, and Calvin will come up with it. He went up against Onstadt. Calvin will throw it down into the Hope end. Benedict chased after it, whipped on it, still held in, though, in the Hope end. With it there at the point, they'll throw it towards the net. Darmanov tried to make a play on it. And the Dutchmen try to clear. They get it out into the neutral zone. Benedict will chase after along with Ciso. And we've got a collision out at center ice as it's played now by Ciso. Ciso will bring it up over the line in traffic. Coming on goal with a shot. Wakefield able to make the easy save 35 seconds into the second period.
Yeah, Ciso breaking in and gets a chance on net, but Siegfield, no traffic in front of him, stout as ever, and he's able to make that save. No mistake about it.
I keep hitting the patron in front of us with my clipboard, so I'm raising up a notch here. Maybe a little better sight line too, and love it though, the standing room only crowd here at the Eagles Ice Center. You would expect nothing less with these two teams.
Calvin Hope, it's always the busiest night of the year. Poke check by Sigfield. Good job there.
Held in at the blue line as it's played now by Calvin. Still Petrula with a cross ice pass. Centering one right out in front. Oh, Cicchino had a golden opportunity. Couldn't quite get to the puck. Still played deep in the Hope end. Cicchino trying to make a play on it. Right out in front again. It's loose at the doorstep. And Hope able to come up with it. And we get a whistle. 18:52 left in this second period of a 2-1 Hope lead.
And Cicchino was down in the crease after taking a hit, driving that puck to the net. He's not the tallest player, but he plays as if he's 7 feet tall. He was a monster on that shift, like a dog after that puck, and willed a scoring chance on net, essentially.
Yeah, he's definitely fearless down there, Scott. Him and Tony Eaton, two of the smaller guys height-wise, but two of the bigger guys, heart-wise, if you will. Calvin looking to hold it in. Now it's played out into the neutral zone. Played back into the Calvin end as Breaker will make a play on it. Vesperini with the stretch pass, plays it down into the Hope end. He comes up with it, skates over near his far side rather, trying to maintain possession of the puck, but it's played by Henke. He'll try to clear the zone. Now it's played out into the neutral zone. Quickly, here comes John over the line over on the far side. He's bounced off the puck. Played over into the near corner now. Out to center ice with it, lead pass. Fonovic tries to make a play on it. Dipsy-do a nice move to get towards the net. Now it's played over on the far side. Hope now will clear it out to center ice. Now here's an opportunity. Iuta comes in, 2-on-1, but it's knocked away over to the near corner.
What a sliding play by Beaker to break up that odd man rush.
The other way, Pratt plays it down into the Hope end. John will tip it out to center ice. Beaker throws one towards the net. John has it again over on the far side. They'll throw one off the boards. Ciso tries to make a play on it for the Knights. Now down into the Calvin end, 2.5 gone in the second period, 2-1 Hope. Now played down into the Hope end. Iuter will chase after it. He'll rifle it off the boards over to the near side, still deep in the Hope end. Hope with possession. Ickes tries to throw one towards net, deflected up over the top of the goal. Penalty coming up to the Dutch. Played in behind the net. Calvin with possession, delayed call. Goalie's pulled. Ciso has it. He'll drop it off to Pratt. Big hit. Over to the far side. There's a play deflected into the net, into the slot. And we're going to get a power play opportunity for the Knights. Time of the penalty, 3:02.
Yeah, pretty blatant interference call happening. Absolutely no puck to be found on the goal mount there. And Ciso was upended, and the refs are going to make no mistake, call that each time. And a wonderful job by the Knights down low to keep that puck going. Trent Benedict had to fight off a couple of Dutchmen in order to get that extra chance before the penalty started.
Now here we go now with the extra attacker for the Knights. Third power play opportunity for them. Puck still loose in the face-off circle area. Now the Knights come up with it. They'll throw it around the boards. Benedict will chase after it out to the point. But now here's an opportunity for Hope, shorthanded, up over the line, Pratt. And they're going to say offside. Onstad maybe a little bit anxious. So Hope gets a break there as the face-off will come outside. Calvin gets the break as it come outside their blue line.
Yeah, Calvin catching a bit of a break there, maybe falling asleep a little bit out there. You can't allow a 3-on-2 going the other way. Well, you have the man advantage.
Off the draw, fought for in the neutral zone area. Throwing down into the Calvin end. Zimmerman will wait for it. He'll gather up the puck and he'll set up the next rush on the power play. Still a minute 33 left with the extra man. Pratt will bring it back to Zimmerman. Plays it over to the point on the far side, Fonovic. Fonovic has it. He'll skate it in behind the net, pestered there. Over into the corner. Benedict will chase after it as well. Hope looking to clear. And they do. Good play to clear the zone by Connor Dvorak as it's played down into the Calvin end. Calvin able to regroup with it. Zimmerman has to spin it around and finally hand it off to Nick Justice. Justice will skate it out into the neutral zone. He'll drop it back off. Here comes Ickes. He'll bring it up over the line to the near side. Thought about centering it in behind the goal. Now he centers it. Backhand play! What a pass! Wakefield was sharp on that one, Scott. What a beauty of a setup, though. That time by Ickes.
It's those silky mitts every time. You need to enter the zone, Ickes. You need a goal, Ickes. You need a face-off win, Ickes.
Oh.
You need to get under the skin of the opponent, definitely Ickes.
Eaton wins the draw for the Knights. There's a deflection. Here's an opportunity for Hope coming in all alone. Tarpening, but a good play on defense again by you named it. Ickes gets back to thwart the rush that time by Tarpening shorthanded.
You need a stick lift on a breakaway? Ickes.
And Ickes plays it down into the zone, played over in the far corner. But a good play, though, the other way by Tarpening to get that opportunity on the limited breakaway. Beaker has it, plays it in behind the goal. Doorstep play, back over to Justice. Over on the far side, in behind the goal. Played over to Petrula. 10 seconds left with the extra man. Beaker, odd-angled shot, sailed up over the top of the goal. And this one will float down into the Calvin end. Hope at full strength, both teams at 5-on-5 now as it's going to be played by Eaton. He'll dump it down around the boards. It'll go in behind the goal. Petrula one-hands it in behind the net. Eaton will come up with it as well. Played up into the corner. They chop away at it there. Petrula tries to make a play on it. Now Eaton has it in behind the goal. Tries a center one! Just wide! Oh, man! He had an opening that time. There's a shot kicked away by Wakefield. And it's going to be lifted out to center ice. Quickly the other way. Oh, what a play on defense. Jaros got his pocket picked by Beaker. Now it's played out to the blue line. Now out to center ice. Vesperini slows it down. Plays it out into the neutral zone and dumps it down into the Hope end. We'll get a couple of changes on the fly. In behind the goal, puck still loose. Over there by Hooper. Hooper tries to make a play off of Onstadt. Now it's in behind the goal. Fonovic, he's bounced off the puck to Hooper. Little spin move there. Now out into the slot with a shot just wide. Vesperini with an opportunity. And Hope able to clear. Calvin taking the play to him here in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Lifted out to center ice. Here comes Fonovic. Up over the line. Tries a dipsy move as well of his own. But it's played out to center ice. Pratt bounced off the puck. Davis will have to chase back after it. Now played out into the neutral zone, thrown around the boards. Fedema comes out of the net to play it. Plays it over on the far side. Puck out to the blue line. Now deflected out to center ice. And into the Hope end. There will be no icing. Puck in behind the goal. Played around the boards and out of play. 13 minutes to go. Second period, still 2-1 Dutch.
Although the Knights are trying their darndest to make it tied 2-2 once more. Lou Vesperini with the one knee, one tee, unable to hit the net. And Christoph Petrella with a couple of beautiful turnaround backhand passes down low. Just one play shy of getting that equalizer a couple of times in the last few minutes for the Knights.
Justice throws it in behind the goal. They fight for it over there. Ickes will chase after it as well. Back out to Justice. Over to the near side, Zimmerman. Zimmerman skating with the puck. Over to the far side again, Justice. Odd-angled shot deflected away. He'll get his own rebound. Played in behind the goal. Ickes, he tries to center one. He's knocked off the puck. The puck rolled there. They got a break there as Ciso will throw it around the boards. In behind the goal. Zimmerman finds it. Throws it towards the net. A hopping puck. Just sailed wide. Played over to the near side. And it's played out into the neutral zone. Lawfer with a good play. Big hit. And we're going to get a penalty coming up. And we get some pushing and shoving in front of us. As it's going to be number 19, Gerardus Palalauskas going to the box. With the big blindside hit on Ciso. Time of the penalty, 7:45.
And that's the second time Ciso has had to take one for the team this period in order to draw a penalty for the Knights. This time he's a little bit shaken up. He was reaching for his mouth a little bit on that later hit. And hopefully everything's okay with Daniel Ciso as he skates to the bench gingerly.
So another opportunity again for the Knights. As they're going to talk to the players out at center ice again, things getting a little chippy again. As Calvin will go back to the power play.
And I'll shout out Hayden Zimmerman really quick. I mentioned that you don't want to be the one to escalate things. You don't want to go just a little bit too far in this one. He was tied up with a Dutchman right in front of us. And he was in a position to maybe take one more shove.
Yeah.
But he let the stripes come over and let things simmer down so that the Knights can preserve this opportunity.
And it's a 5-minute major for Pulaskis. The blindside hit. And you mentioned Zimmerman, Scott. That's something that he's learned from last year. Last year, he did get a couple of those extra penalties, those retaliation hits, and he's grown up a little bit in that regard. He doesn't do that this year, and he's definitely improved in that area. He's looked a lot better.
Yep, you spend enough time being coached by the Petrusmas, you're going to pick up some of that sportsman-like behavior in your play, and Hayden Zimmerman showing it off tonight, as well as his silky mitts on a few plays.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely a playmaker, and, they've got such a mix of young and old, the veterans and the young kids, as does Hope. These two teams so stocked full of talent. Hope's been there for years, you know that, and, this Calvin team as well. All right, here we go. 5-on-4 for 5 minutes. Another major penalty on the Dutchman. Fonovic will take the draw against Onstadt. Won by the Knights. Out to the blue line. Pratt to Zimmerman. Zimmerman back out to Pratt. Over on the far side. There's a blast deflected over into the near corner. Elbowing the call on Pulaskis as it's played now out to the blue line. Vesperini over to the far side to Benedict. Out to Pratt. Towards the net. That one found its way to the leg pad of Wakefield, and it's now rifled into the Calvin end.
And that puck has been bouncing around out in front of the net sometimes to get that equalizer. You're going to get one that's maybe not the prettiest, but they count the same.
Pratt skates in, tries to stick one 5-hole, and it's deflected over into the far side. Vesperini will chase after it. Played out to the blue line. Now played into this face-off circle area, far side. Back out to the point. Benedict has it. Plays it over near side to Pratt. Pratt skates it out on top. He'll throw one towards the net. That was deflected away. Fonovic playing right out in front. There's one loose. And it's gloved off by Wakefield. Fonovic doing his best Tomas Holmstrom impression to try to get in the way of Wakefield.
Yep, crash the net, and if the puck goes in, that's exactly how he drew it up. Joel Fonovic has had himself a nice game very quietly here. He's made some key defensive plays, had a clean draw win there, and now he's making some offensive contributions, chipping the puck at the net.
Ickes will take the draw against John. Still 3:54 left in the major penalty to Hope. Puck over in the near corner. They'll dig away at it there, and it's going to be played out to the point. Beaker throws it over to Fonovic. Fonovic up on top to Beaker. Actually, that's Justice as it's deflected away. Played over on the far side in behind the goal. Bounced up against the wall. They'll play it over there, over in the corner. Now out to the point, Justice. Nick Justice over to the far side. Slow it down briefly. Now Ickes has it near side. Tries to center one, and that's deflected just wide. Another big opportunity for the Knights. Wakefield got a piece of that one. Man, he's been tough, though. Wakefield in net for the Dutchman.
Yeah, Wakefield has made some excellent stops between the pipes for the Dutchman. It could very easily look very different on the scoreboard if it weren't for 33 in orange.
Pulaskis still has 3:19 left in the major elbowing penalty. Face off to the left of Wakefield.
Did he just barely get his blocker on that last
It sure
one?
looked like it.
Like there was all sorts of net to shoot at.
Petrula
Well
has
done.
it in behind the goal. Played over in the corner. Eaton spins around now in behind the net. He'll set it back out to Ickes. Out on top to Beaker. Far side, winding up was Justice. He skates it now back on top to Beaker. Throws it towards the net, deflected in traffic. Turnaround shot, deflected up and out of play by Eaton as he rifled one deflected wide.
Tony Eaton with 10 points in 12 games so far this season, trying to make his mark known on this game.
We'll get a fresh set of power plays and penalty kill units out now. Fonovic will be draped by Benedict and Vesperini. Pratt out on the point along with Zimmerman. High shot taken and brought all the way back out to the blue line by Zimmerman. He'll skate it out on top over to the far side, throws one towards the net, deflected away, and Hope's able to clear.
And you know what I noticed on that last shot on Wakefield? He was looking around a little bit trying to locate the puck afterwards. Knights are going to have to maybe get some more Tomas Holmstroms in front of him in order to try to throw him off his game.
Pratt throws it around the boards. In behind the net, it goes out to the point to Hayden Zimmerman. Zimmerman, he'll skate up to the high slot, thought about throwing it towards the net. Still looking to set it up. Fonovic's camped out in front of the net again along with Vesperini. Puck tipped over to the near side, Zimmerman. He still collects the puck, skates it out on top. He'll drop it off to Pratt. Pratt throws one towards the net, deflected away. All the way out to Zimmerman. He's able to hold it in. He'll skate it over to the near side. He'll look to play it. Now back out to Pratt. Pratt's got Benedict with him. There's a shot deflected over to the near corner. Benedict has it back out to the point to Pratt. Pratt plays it over to the far side. Little give and go with Benedict. Still 1:35 left in the power play. Puck is loose. Wakefield again. Johnny on the spot, able to glove it off and hang on with 8:48 to go in the period and 1:34 in the power play.
The crease police coming in strong again, but Fonovic and Vesperini are fighting desperately down low, and it looks like they have been able to at least create a little bit of chaos in front of Wakefield, but not enough so far.
Onstad and Eaton on the draw. It's over into the far corner. They'll dig away at it there. Back out to the point with it, Justice. He'll skate it towards the high slot over to the far side. There's a one-time shot.
Oh.
Windmill save that time by Wakefield. I think that young man is gaining more and more confidence as the night wears on.
Yep. Tony Eaton, not necessarily an easy one to fight off when he has the one-timer shot, and it went right into the glove. No mistake with the trapper for 33 Orange.
Petrula has it in behind the goal. He'll look to try to set it up. Now Justice has it. Over to the far side. Ickes right out in front again at the doorstep. Now deflected out to Justice. Justice to the near side to Beaker. Baker, there's a one-time opportunity. Ickes kind of fanned on it in behind the goal. Right out in front again. Calvin looks to set it back up. There's a shot knocked away again. Centering play. And they fight for it in front of the net. And Iuder took exception to something, and he's got Eaton wrapped around the neck as they'll separate them here with 52 seconds to go in the power play. And Calvin throwing everything but the kitchen sink at him right now, Scott.
Yeah, I can't criticize the play of the Calvin man advantage. The power play units have been clicking, but who's also been clicking is Sebastian Wakefield between the pipes, flashing the leather multiple times, that time the left pad, tracking it perfectly through traffic.
Puck movement has been fantastic for the Knights. You mentioned it. Wakefield's been just that much better. Off the draw, out to the point, Zimmerman has it at the blue line. He'll skate it now up high. Slot with a shot deflected up into the netting and out of play. We'll get another face-off down in the Hope end.
Still 46 seconds left. That's time for a lot of puck movement and, of course, plenty of time to sink a goal past the line.
8 minutes exactly left to go here in this second period. Face off to the right of Wakefield, won by the Knights again, now out to the point with it. Pratt throws it around the boards. Vesperini waits for it. He's got Fonovic with him as well. Hooper will join in on the fray. Now back out to the point to Pratt. Around the boards in behind the goal. Now played out to the point, held in by Zimmerman. Nifty move, but Hope's able to clear. Look out. Shorthanded opportunity coming up over the line. Dixon He's met by Zimmerman, though, over in the near corner. Played around the boards, 15 seconds left in the power play for the Knights. One more opportunity. Here comes Pratt quickly up over the line. His shot deflected away. Over to the near corner now. Calvin will have it. Fonovic, he's hounded over there. Played over on the far side. Sadinsky with some great penalty kill there. There's one deflected away by Wigfield. Vesperini holds it in. Both teams at full strength with a huge hit in behind the goal. And this one will be lifted out to center ice. Here's an opportunity. Paulakis with a shot. Just wide, but he's hooked. And we'll go to a Hope power play, as it looks like Vesperini will go to the penalty box after the shot. He got a hook in on Gerardus Paulakis. And now Hope will go back to the extra man at 13:06.
And that's a penalty that I don't necessarily think that Coach Petrusma will be upset at Vesperini for taking when you have a man all alone in like that. Sometimes it's the wise play to just say, you know what, I have confidence in my teammates that for the next 2 minutes, even while I'm on the bench, or in the sin bin rather, that they can kill it off.
Now they talk to the captains again. A lot of conversations with the captains here tonight, Scott, more than we normally get.
And I don't think it's just casual conversation necessarily.
No, it's not. Pratt against Ickes, won by the Dutch. We'll see what they do on the power play. Ayuder throws it towards the high slot, tripping the call on Vesperini. Onstadt with a shot that sailed wide. Out to the point it goes. Played over on the near side. Onstadt hopped over his stick. They fight for it there into the corner. Up with it now. Hope looking to set it up. Centering play! And
wait, did he save that?
He did.
Oh my goodness, Aiden Fedema, what a play.
The goal came off its moorings as he saved it. What a setup, though, by the Dutch. Beautiful puck work by the Dutchman here on the power play. Still a minute 33 left. 6:26 to go in the period.
Yeah, the net here at Eagles Ice Center saying, hey, do you need me to come loose for a moment here? Fedema saying, no, I got this one, but thanks anyway.
Onstadt and Ickes. Ickes wins the draw. Puck played out into the neutral zone. Ciso will dump it down into the far corner. Eat up some power play time. In behind the goal, Ickes looking to create some havoc. Now here come the Dutch. Skating it out of the zone is Pratt. He'll bring it up over the line. He's got Dvorak with them as well. Played over on the far side. Onstadt tried to make a play on it. Still played down into Calvin N. Up on the point. Ayuder has it. Skates in with a shot that sailed wide. Rebound picked up by Pratt. Out to the point with it. There's a drive just wide of the goal. And Zimmerman able to get it through the stick of Dvorak out into the neutral zone.
Fortunately, it looks like Fedema's tracking the puck well. He hasn't had the busiest period so far in the second, but he's getting right back into it.
Played around the boards in behind the goal. Dvorak plays it out to John. John has it at the blue line. His play over to the near side. Out to the point with it. Now Davis gets it to Onstadt. Kicked away by Fedema. Good save. Played over on the far side. 25 seconds left in the power play. Eaton chases after it along with John. And also trying to make a play on it for the Dutch is Ryan Jaros. Over in the near far corner now, back out to the point. 10 seconds left with the extra man. Onstadt's play deflected right back to him. Near corner with it now, under 5 to go. Good play to hold it in. Played over to the far side. Centering play deflected out to the blue line. Both teams at full strength. Davis now drops it off the center ice. John throws it wide. Played over into the far corner. Now there's a shot knocked away. That time by Fedema over to the near corner. Played out to the blue line, thrown wide by Davis. Again, played over on the far side, in behind the goal. Paulakis blew his shoe as it went over into the near corner. Back and forth they go with it, deep in the Calvin end. Now out to center ice, Cicchino. Cicchino brings it up over the line on the far side. Plays it right through the goal mouth area. Now it's all the way out to center ice. Justice dumps it back into the Hope end. 4:08 to go in the period. Played around the boards now. Tipped around. Cicino will chase after it. Kingsbury tried to make a play on it. Justice holds it in. He'll skate it over to the face-off circle area with a shot in traffic. And another seeing eye save by Wakefield.
Yeah, both goaltenders having their fair share of tests in recent minutes. Aiden Fedema doing a very good job of not giving up those rebounds directly in front, but directing the puck instead towards the corners. And of course, Sigfield able to just hold on to the puck and get a face-off. No rebounds given.
Face-off will be to the left of Wakefield as it's going to be Fonovic taking the draw. As he goes up against Tarpening. Puck out to the blue line now. Justice has it, throws it towards the net, deflected in traffic. Hope able to skate it out of the zone. Lead pass tip at the blue line. Puck played out at center ice, 3:40 to go in the period. Justice will come up with it. Plays it out to center ice, tipped into the Hope end, now around the boards over to the far side. Puck played out to center ice. Justice comes up with it. Deflected away. Good play by Sadinsky to deflect it away. Now again, back and forth as it's whipped on. Here's an opportunity. A good play to come back after. Fonovic centers one. Just up over the top of the goal. Held in at the blue line by Zimmerman. Nifty move over on the far side. He'll look to set it up. Plays it out to the blue line. Spins it over to the far side. This one goes in behind the net. Vesperini tries to make a move on it. In behind the goal, right at the doorstep again over to the near side. Vesperini tied up. Ickes comes up with it. He'll come in. He'll try to throw one around the boards to Zimmerman. His play into the glove of Wakefield, but again, Calvin bringing the heat, and the Dutchman hanging on for dear life.
Man, if pressure could be counted and put on the scoreboard, Knights would be in a great position right now, but as of right now, it only counts goals, and Sigfield has been keeping those off the board for the Dutchman. I thought it would be too bad that Justice didn't get a shot away, but the trailing men had some wide open net to shoot at, but just couldn't hit the target.
Over on the far side, deflected now into the face-off circle area, held in, deflected around. Hope able to clear. Out to center ice. Now here comes Pratt over, drops it off into the high slot. Onstad with a shot. Rebound! Loose at the doorstep. Calvin comes up with it. 2:20 to go in the period. Played over on the far side. Here comes Benedict. Benedict with a centering play. Ickes runs into the goaltender. And we're going to get some pushing and shoving afterwards. His momentum carried him into the goal. Wakefield no worse for wear, but I don't think they're discussing if they're going to go to the belt line for burritos after the game as they separate now.
Could it perhaps be study hints for the midterms coming up?
Sure. Okay.
I'm sure that's what they're discussing, and not necessarily, hey, if you do that again, I will break your stick over my knee.
Maybe it's late night appetizers at Applebee's. Who knows?
Oh, Uccellos used to have the best ones back in the day, partner.
Uccellos it is. Well, I'm from Lansing. We don't have a Uccellos down that way. When my son used to do games with me, we would stop at the late night appetizers. That was the only one we could go to. As the shot deflected away from Wakefield. Now out to center ice and deflected into the back pocket of Chris Van Timmeren. Or maybe this jacket pocket with 2:05 to go in the period. You talk about a guy that's been with the program a long time. Chris Van Timmeren's been with Hope for over a couple of decades. He's built that into a powerhouse with no sign of letting up.
Yeah, and how many national championships did they get at the D3 level? At least 3.
I think he's gotten 3. Actually, I think it might be 4. As there's one. Wakefield gloves off. He got one in 2018, then back-to-back after COVID, or around COVID and after, and then just last year. And they went to the finals in Boston and lost to Michigan. So, yeah, he's no stranger to the top of the mountain. As we get a whistle at the draw, so we'll do a redo with Eaton and John to the right of Wakefield. Again, Calvin wins the draw, played around the boards in behind the goal. Petrula hounded as he plays it over to Eaton. 1:48 to go in the period. 2-1 Hope. No scoring in this second period. Centering play goes right through the goal mouth again. Darmanoff has it. He'll skate it, try to center one. Oh, there's one, bounced around again, went right through the goal mouth. Calvin unable to get an opportunity there as it was wide open momentarily for the Knights.
And Cicino was begging to find that puck between his skates, but the crease police for Hope in full effect.
Tipped around. Bright with the go-ahead goal, has it bounce off of his stick. Played out into the neutral zone. Broken twigs out on the ice again. Here comes John up over the line into the high slot. Backhand shot. Fedema gloves it off. And you mentioned it earlier in the period, Scott. Fedema hasn't had a lot of action. The ice has definitely been tilted in the Hope end. So that makes it sometimes difficult when you don't see that much.
And an encouraging save there, too, because that one came up as more of a change-up, but he was able to locate it, tuck it safely in his glove. And, yeah, there are some goalies, like I think of Curtis Joseph back in the day, who did better when they had more action. So Fedema is able to stay sharp even after not experiencing a ton of action in recent minutes.
Off the draw, Calvin quickly skates it out. Beaker has it up over the line. There's a shot! Deflected all the way out to the blue line. Fonovic holds it in briefly, now tipped around high in the air and out of play.
And a souvenir for a fan.
He's going to try.
He's being generous.
Throws it back out on the ice.
I don't know if I would have been that kind, partner. I definitely love my hockey memorabilia. I have a bunch of pucks from back in the day when I was even in between the boxes doing the music. And had that appeared right in front of me, five-finger discount may have applied.
Well, that was the thing with doing Aquinas games back in the day. There was no net, and I had one of them zing right over the top of my bald head, man. Oh. I'll tell you what, that woke you up in a hurry. In behind the goal, it's played. Vesperini throws one towards the net. And then, believe it or not, in the Nationals in Boston, the first game I did note there was women's D1, and the Liberty Flames, Lady Flames, were playing, I want to say Minot or something. And that puck whizzed right by my ear. 10 minutes into the opening game.
I'm very glad that it missed its target there.
Oh, me too. Trust me. Oh, there's a knuckler that went right into the glove off the Dutchman logo there of Wigfield. And we'll get a face-off again in the Hope end.
Yeah, it looked like maybe for a moment there would be a rebound given up. It bounced up only a few inches in the air, but Sebastian Sigfield able to immediately swipe it down.
Out to the blue line, Justice holds it in. Played over on the near side. Now played out the center ice. Here's an opportunity, all alone, Jaros, but he's met by Justice as it's played over into the near corner. 17 seconds left, and we get a whistle and a stoppage of play. And I think we may get a Calvin penalty coming up here.
That's what it appears to be, partner. Once again, it looks like the Knights are able to get that partial breakaway, and or did I say the Knights? I meant the Dutchman. My apologies. Dutchman getting the partial break, and the Knights having to do a little bit too much with their sticks to fend it off.
Well, this will be the fifth power play of the night for the Dutchmen. They are 2 out of 4.
And, scratch the power play. It looks like we're getting a penalty shot here.
Oh, here we go. Indeed, he was hauled down. So here it is with the opportunity. Jaros, he'll skate it up over on the far side, come in on Fedema. He comes in, his shot knocked away! Aiden Fedema with the big save on the penalty shot. And it stays 2-1 in favor of the Dutchman. So the penalty shot thwarted.
tried to pull off a Datsukian move with lifting the trailing leg to fake the shot, but Aiden Fedema standing tall and tracking him the whole way, able to swipe that puck out to the corner, as he's been known to do tonight.
All right, here we go. Face off to the right of Fedema. Off the draw, Zimmerman comes up with it. He'll play it over on the far side, lift it out to center ice. Puck knocked around, 10 seconds to go. The Dutchman referees that paid to get in wanted a penalty called there. Played in behind the goal. They'll chop at it. Right out in front, knocked down was Fonovic as the period comes to a close. And partner, I'm telling you what, buckle up for the third period. We're going to be in for a doozy. No goal scored in that second period, but not for a lack of effort.
Yeah, both sides were fighting really hard, especially the Knights throughout the middle part of this frame. And it looks like we're not only having some hockey players, but maybe some lumberjacks out there kind of chopping at each other near the end. Both sides having to be careful to not draw that penalty. But there's been a whole lot of effort to score, but a whole lot of timely saves by Fedema and Sigfield.
Well, Wakefield got himself some big saves on that 5-minute major that, he kept them into the contest, no doubt about it. Kelvin, you mentioned it numerous times, Scott. Kelvin, with great puck work on that 5-minute power play, it came up empty, but a lot to be happy with. They did everything but put it in the net.
Absolutely. I still think back to those spinning around backhand passes from Petrella, just laying it out to an open area of the net, always just one person shy, not being in the right place at the right time, but some excellent effort being put in, and maybe ones that had people reacted a bit differently may have gone in on other nights.
And on the penalty kill, I thought Patrick Dixon for Hope played really well, and Onstadt. And we had a little bit of everything. Then we had a penalty shot there with 17 seconds left to go in the period. Jaros with an opportunity, but again, it was Fedema standing tall, stoning him to keep it a 1-goal lead for the Dutchman.
Yeah, the Knights already know how it feels to give up a goal in the final seconds of a period here tonight. They did not want to have that happen again, and Aiden Fedema is able to prevent that.
All right, well, we're going to step aside and catch our breath and get ready for what I know is going to be one heck of a third period here at the Eagles Ice Center. It's Game 2 of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame Tournament. The winner of this one, by the way, will get Grand Valley tomorrow night, 7:30 puck drop. The consolation game will be between Davenport and the loser of this one. That one will be at 4:30. All right, we'll step aside. We'll be back in about 13 minutes for the third period of play. 2-1 Hope after 40 here on the Calvin University Sports Channel on YouTube. Well, welcome back, everybody. The third period just about set to go here from the Eagles Ice Center in the second of two in the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame tournament. Opening day action, and we've got a doozy here. 40 minutes into the books, 2-1 Hope. No goals scored in that second period, but a lot of opportunities for the Knights, especially as I bring in my tag team partner, Scott Cooper. Scott, the Knights had a 5-minute power play. They had numerous chances. Wakefield has been just stellar in net. And then Fiedema had to stop a penalty shot for the Dutchman with 17 seconds left to go in the second period.
Yep, they say that your goaltender has to be your best penalty killer, and Fiedema and Wakefield both demonstrating that in the last frame. And make no mistake, even though there weren't any goals, it was still a very exciting period of hockey. And, you know, there's never really a time where any of these players ever give up.
No.
But I think they're going to be trying especially hard coming out this period, trying to play for a championship coming up tomorrow, and at the same time facing off with their most dreaded rival.
You know, it's funny is before the game, I had a chance to talk to one of the parents of one of the players last year, Nathan Holtrup, who he's here tonight. He scored the game-winning goal last year in the championship game, and I went up to him. He said, "Captain Lou, how's it going?" I said, "Good, how are you?" He said, "This is the rubber game. This is the rubber game." So he doesn't play. He's an alum now. So you can't tell me that they don't want this one here tonight. When these two teams play, but we talked about it too, any sport, basketball, soccer, now football.
Football's going on now.
Exactly.
That was a pipe dream when I was in school. We still had those undefeated since 1876 Calvin football T-shirts that they sold back in the day. Of course, that is no longer the case now, but it all just goes to show Calvin and Hope.
Oh, yeah.
It's competitive every single time.
It sure is. As we get set to go, they'll switch ends. The Dutchmen in their orange jerseys with the blue and white trim, blue numerals and helmets. They'll be going from left to right. Calvin in their dark brown jerseys. The gold and white trim, white numerals, gold helmets. They'll be going from right to left on your television screen, computer. However you're watching us around the world, you're on the Calvin University Sports Channel on YouTube as Schrader brings it into the zone. Went over the stick of Ickes as it's played over in the far corner. He'll try to center one, deflected off the side of the goal. It's loose, and it's played out into the neutral zone. Hopping puck as Pratt comes up with it with Onstadt and Jaros. There's a shot deflected. It's going to be played now by Calvin. Here comes Ickes quickly. He's met as he brings it up over the line, brings it into the slot, deflected back out to center ice.
He had his pocket picked, and we can't say that very often of Stephen Ickes, who normally has that puck on a string down there, and he's doing the same thing to the opposition.
Jaros with some token pressure as Calvin looks to clear the zone. He's waving for a replacement as it's brought up over the line. Benedict, good stick work, odd angle shot, rebound! Deflected over to the near corner. Played over on the far side, big hit over there. Zimmerman will chase after it. Played up and out of play, making a play on it for the Dutch. Trevor Davis, who's got the opening goal in this one on the power play back in the first period.
And speaking of uniform talk a little bit earlier, do the Dutchmen not look like those early Adidas Oilers back when they were wearing the orange and navy?
They sure do.
I think they have the same striping pattern and everything. And I'm a Knights fan, of course, having gone to Calvin, but I'll admit I've always thought that was an underrated style.
Well, I tell you, I've bid on so many of those orange 99 jerseys from Wayne Gretzky, but it gets a little too high for this old guy. But one of these days, puck deflected in the neutral zone. Iuder has it right in front of us. Now played down into the Hope end, and chasing after it will be the Dutch, as it's Patrick Dixon will throw it out to the neutral zone. Justice gets his pocket pick, and he scores!
My goodness!
What a play by the Dutchman. What an individual effort that time by Brady Bright. His second goal of the night. And it's 3-1. Hope, time of the goal, 1:49. Wow, what a play.
Brady Bright, the alternate captain, showing why you never give up on the play. Nick Justice may be caught maybe being a little lackadaisical out there, and all it takes is one stroke of the stick. And it's a 3-1 game in favor of the Dutchman.
First even strength goal of the night as it's played right in front of us. Now Calvin's going to see if they can bounce back from this, and Hope looking to go for the jugular. Played around the boards, now back down into the Calvin end. They're going to wave off the icing. Fatima plays it around the boards now over to Justice. Brady Bright, second goal of the night. One scored at 19:59, and then here at just a little over a minute and a half gone. Those could be backbreakers, 1:49 to be exact. Held in by Fonovic, bouncing puck in behind the goal. Ayuder, there's one loose, and now deflected out into the Calvin end. And we'll get an icing call this time. So now Hope with a big 2-goal lead. 17:23 to go, regulation time.
And what a night for Brady Bright so far. I mean, you're on a team that has guys scoring 1.95 per game like Logan Nicholas, or 1.68 like Cade Pratt. He had 10 points in 19 games, which is certainly nothing to sneeze at, but to score 2 goals and have the winning goal on your stick in a rivalry game has to mean the world.
Over on the far side, the puck is deflected, played over there by Beaker rather. His shot gloved off by Wakefield, and another face-off in the Hope zone with 17:10 to go here in this third period.
Wakefield picking up right where he left off in the last period. Knights are going to have to crank up the pressure once more and hope that they can solve the riddle that is Sebastian Wakefield.
Wakefield, of course, taking over for longtime goaltender McLean Schick, who's got, I believe, 3 national championships under his belt in a 5-year span. As he was definitely one of the all-time greats to wear a Dutchman sweater. Played deep in the Hope end, and now it's out to center ice. Beaker throws it back down into the zone. This one hops in behind the goal. Played around the boards over to the far side. Now out to center ice. Tipped there and played right in front of us. Ickes now will skate with the puck. He'll play it around now and skate it out into the neutral zone. He'll drop it off for Darmanoff. His play stolen away. Lead pass dumped down into the Calvin end. Jarros will chase after it. He throws it around the boards. Played there by Hooper. Hooper quickly skates it out to center ice. He dumps it down into the Hope end. Played around the boards over to the far side. Knocked off the boards, and this one will be played out to center ice. Benedict will chase back after it. Adamick plays it there. Tipped to Zimmerman. Benedict will dump it down around the boards in behind. Now played out to center ice and into the Calvin end. 4 minutes gone in this third period. Brady Bright has given Hope a 3-1 lead as it's skated out into the neutral zone. Justice will bring it up over the line. He'll come in on goal, and it's deflected away, and the net comes off its moorings. 15:50 to go, regulation time.
And Wakefield almost instinctively reaching right behind him, trying to drag that net back into place. But at Eagles Ice Center, they have a mind of their own. You're not going to get away with it.
Face-off will be to his right. Fonovic will take the draw as he goes up against Dvorak. Picked up by the Knights, deflected in the slot, now played out into the neutral zone. Lead pass, Dvorak will come after it. He'll backhand it, but they were offside, so we'll get a draw just outside the Calvin blue line.
Knights may be having to reach up their sleeve and try to pull something out of their bag of tricks. 15:40 to go, so plenty of time, but you're multiple goals down against a stout Hope Dutchman squad. Beginning to wonder what your game plan is going forward to get back on top.
Still plenty of time left for the Knights, but here come the Dutch. Dvorak with a shot. knocked away over to the far side. In behind the goal, it's played. Pressure now by the Dutch. Played now by Petrusma. His feed deflected and stolen away and back down into the Calvin end. 15:15 to go, regulation time, 3-1 in favor of Hope as we get a whistle and a stoppage and a face-off back down in the Calvin end. Yeah, Scott, they're going to have to reach down deep. See, there's still, like I said, a lot of time left. It just takes one bounce to go in the net, and it's a one-goal game. As the face-off is to the right of Petrusma. Played out to the blue line, now thrown around the boards in behind the goal it goes. Big hit over in the far corner. Now here come the Knights. Played out to center ice. Schrader has it. He'll bring it up over the line. Try to feed one into the neutral zone. Or into the slot area, rather. Now it's out into the neutral zone. Bright looking for the hat. He throws it in behind the goal. Over to the far side. Played over there by the Dutchman. Puck knocked around. Played over in the far side. Broken twig there out to the right of the goal. Now here come the Knights. Ickes will skate it up. He'll try to play it over to Schrader. His pocket is picked. Hooper will have to chase back after it. Beaker has it. He'll bring it up over the line to the near side. He'll play it over in the corner. Now back out into the high slot. Turns, deflected just wide of the goal. Benedict plays it over to Ickes, centering play. One-time shot knocked away by Wigfield. Held in at the blue line. There's a drive deflected just wide. Played over to the near side, and this one will be thrown down into the neutral zone. Trying to make a play on it was Loffer. Played in behind the goal, Calvin. Now we'll try to get it out. Zimmerman spins it out of harm's way out into the center ice area, but again, dumped back down into the Calvin end. 13:40 to go, regulation time, 3-1 Hope. Down into the Hope end, that's played around to the near corner. Over to the near side, now right across the goal mouth, held in at the blue line with a shot that sails wide. Over into the near corner. They'll fight for the puck there. Now lifted across ice over to the far side. Now up over the line with it. Hope now throws it towards the net with a shot up over the top of the goal. Nifty setup on that play. Onstadt blasted one that was deflected wide. Zimmerman brings it up over the line.
Knights may be getting away with an offside there, just barely.
Just thinking the same thing. Onstadt will get the feed. His pocket is picked by Beaker, or check that by Eaton, and it's played back down into the Hope end. Puck tipped around, played by Fonovic, thrown around the boards in behind the goal. Hope lifts it up into the neutral zone, avoids the rafters as it's played down. No icing.
No.
Good hustle play by Hanke to make it, to negate the icing. Played out into the neutral zone. Kingsbury dumps it back down into the Calvin end. 12:15 to go as it's played out to center ice. Deflected around, Fonovic has it. Tipped back into the Hope end. Kingsbury will outlet it to Hanke. He'll bring it up over the line. Now back into the neutral zone area. In behind the goal, it's played. Calvin trailing 3-1. Brady Bright, 1:47 into the third period with an even strength goal. Now played back to Dixon, and he'll outlet it to center ice. A couple of changes for the Dutchman on the fly. We had a long stretch here without a whistle. Schrader dumps it down into the Hope end. 11:35 to go here in this third period. Puck played, lifted out into the neutral zone again, knocked down and deflected right in front of us. Ickes with a nice move. He'll bring it up over the line. He'll try to come in on goal. He does. Backhand play. Kicked away by Wigfield. Wow. Ickes with a beauty of a move. But again, Wigfield has just been dynamite in goal for the Dutchman.
Man, some silky smooth mitts on Ickes as always. I was actually waiting to point out on recent recent entries, he's maybe been doing a little too much stick handling, trying to do it all himself, but it only goes to show what I know. He is able to do things like that when he sticks to his game. And even though it didn't go in, what an opportunity he made for himself there.
Out to the point, played over on the far side. Eaton will be bounced off the puck by John. Played in behind the goal, the Dutchman there with the puck. Calvin, though, with pressure, trying to come up with a steal. It's played out into the neutral zone. Pratt has it. 11 minutes. That's what's remaining in the third period. There's one thrown towards Wakefield. He'll glove it off and live to play another day. As
man down, man down.
Zimmerman gets knocked down and now stands up and has a little conversation with Dvorak. We check that Iuter, and they finally separate him as he'll go to the bench. The draw will come outside the Hope blue line.
Yeah, Zimmerman knowing the impact that the man advantage has had in this game, and maybe not the strongest on his skates after the play there, maybe trying to make something happen for the refs, but it wasn't fooling anyone.
Puck knocked around, played out to the Calvin blue line. Now dumped down in behind the goal. Played around to the near side. They'll swing after it. Played over in the high slot. Ooh, big play on defense by the Knights. Walking into the slot was Loffer. Now played at the Hope blue line the other way. Ciso drops it over. Fonovic bounced into the wall as it's played over in the corner with 10:15 to go in the period. In behind the goal, there's one knocked away over to the near side. They'll fight for it there, knocked high in the air. And we're going to get a hand pass with 10:05 to go, regulation time. And the Knights finding themselves down to the Dutchman 3-1 thanks to Brady Bright. With a couple of goals, he's been the difference.
Yeah, he's been a standout, and I even noticed that on one of the breaks for the top line of the Knights entering the zone, knocking down Schrader's pass there, was number 10, Brady Bright. So he's making it happen on both sides of the puck. He's having himself a night to remember.
Halfway through this third period, 3-1 Hope. They're looking to hang on to the lead and take on Grand Valley tomorrow night for the championship in the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame. Grand Valley won it a couple of years ago against Calvin. There's one knocked down and gloved off by Wakefield. And of course, Calvin won it last year. And so they're looking to make a comeback to go back-to-back. They're going to have to step it up here pretty quick. 9:41 to go, regulation time, trailing by a pair.
Yep, 9:41 is plenty of time, but if you think about it on the other hand, they've had almost 51 minutes to do a similar thing, and they've only done it once. They need to do it twice more.
They're in the high slot, centered right out in front, kicked away by Wakefield. Over into the near corner. Darmanoff will try to hold it in. Now played out to the blue line area into the neutral zone as Hooper will come up with it. He'll throw it down wide of the goal as they try to make a play. Now over to the near side. Nice move to get it out to center ice. Onstadt skates it up over on the far side. Played in between the rings and the Calvin end. Adamick will slow it down. Now he'll feed it out to center ice. Jaros has it, but they have to get onside. Fight for the puck now into the neutrals or into the Calvin zone with 8:48 to go, regulation time. Here comes Beaker up over the line, skates it near side, centers one, and he scores! Tony Eaton off the feed from Marshall Beaker, and it's 3-2 Hope. Time of the Calvin goal, 11-18.
A rare defensive breakdown in the slot for Hope tonight, but 12 connecting with 13 just as well as they do on the number line. Finding the open man at the back door, and the Knights are all of a sudden within one.
Back to a one-goal game now, 3-2 in favor of the Dutchman. Beautiful feed from Marshall Beaker. Tony Eaton able to knock it past Wakefield, and we've got a one-goal game now all of a sudden. with still 8 minutes and change, 8.5 to go, regulation time. Played over on the far side, pinned up against the boards. They'll try to jar it loose. Played in behind the goal now. Calvin will look to skate it out. Played out to center ice. Zimmerman drops it off, now up over the line. Played there by Benedict, out to Adamick. Adamick throws it towards the net, deflected in traffic. Now played out into the neutral zone. Adamick has it. He'll tip it down up over the line, over on the near side. Ottingle shot, it's loose right out in front.
Oh.
Boy, oh boy, the goal comes off its moorings. Again, a golden opportunity for the Knights. But unfortunately for them, they couldn't cash in, and Wakefield, again with that horseshoe in his back pocket, keeping it a 1-goal game.
Yeah, in recent minutes, he has had a couple of rebounds given up right in front of the crease, kind of uncharacteristic for his play tonight. But this time, the net's going the way of the Hope Dutchman.
Off the draw, played over in the near corner. Fonovic will chase after it. Ciso as well, played around the boards. Darmanoff will hold it in and throw it over to the near corner. In behind the net, Fonovic will chase after it. Pinned up against the boards. Now coming up with it is Petrula. Back out to the point to Pratt. Throws it towards the net, just sailed wide. Over to the near side. Calvin with pressure now as it's up against the boards. Held in. Played around now. Hope comes up with it. Dvorak will play it out to center ice. He'll lead it to Bright. Bright stops with the puck. He throws it to the high slot. Calvin there to pick it up. Good play to hold it in though, as it's now played out into the high slot. Backhand shot!
Oh.
Knocked away by Fedema. Big shot opportunity by Paul Alaskis. Now played over on the far side. They'll chop away at the puck with 6:50 to go. Regulation time. Puck played over in the far corner.
Yeah,
2 on 2.
Darmenov was laboring a little bit. I was wondering why he wasn't staying strong on the puck, but Knights might be a D-man down here. Oh, well, they just cleared the zone. Maybe they're fine.
Off into the neutral zone. Dixon kicks it down into the Calvin end. Beaker has it. He'll quickly skate it out with some wheels out to center ice. He'll bring it up over the line. He's got Schrader with him. There's one deflected wide. In behind the goal, Schrader tries to make a play on it. Played over on the far side. Now here come the Dutchmen. They'll skate it out. 2 on 2. They'll bring it up over the line, over on the far side. In behind the goal it goes. Played over to the near side. Beaker, his shot deflected out of play. And we'll get a face-off down in the Calvin end with 6:02 to go. Regulation time 3-2 in favor of the Dutchmen.
And that shutdown pairing once again able to get the job done and get a stoppage of play for the Knights. Just looking at my stat sheet here, it looks like Aiden Adamick and Josh Hooper, 1 point between the two of them in 12 games. And you're able to see where their value comes as they score once more.
There's a one-time blast as Ryan Jaros gets the blast top shelf in the corner, and it's 4-2 Dutchman. Time of the goal, 14:06.
And there's not a lot of notes to share on that one. It was just a clear lane, and Fedema was well positioned, but it was a perfect shot into the upper blocker side corner. And all of a sudden, a multi-goal lead for Hope again.
Couldn't place it any better than Jaros did. Right in the upper corner of the goal, and just like that, we've got a 2-goal lead again for the Dutchman. Eaton brings it up over the line. Puck played over on the far side, and the Calvin referees that paid to get in wanted a call, and they're not going to get it. Played around the boards now out to center ice. Zimmerman. Nice move to avoid traffic. He'll bring it up over the line. His pocket is picked. Now tipped out to center ice. Dvorak will skate it up. Kicked away by Fedema. Pratt comes up with it in behind the goal over to the near side. Puck tipped around out to the blue line. Puck in the slot area as it's going to be played by Pratt. He'll play it to the blue line over to the far side. Fonovic. Fonovic skates it up over the line. He's met by traffic in traffic over on the far side. Under 5 to go now in the third period. Puck played out to center ice. Heinke will have it. But now Beaker will chase back after it as well. Calvin now, clock starting to not be on their side with 4:35 to go regulation time, trailing by 2. Played over on the far side, dumped down wide of the goal. Fonovic will chase after it. Played over into the near corner. Around the boards now, it'll be played by the Dutchman quickly. John will skate it up over the line. He'll one-hand it in behind the goal. As he looks to try to set something up, drops it up. Iuter has it far side. And behind the net, there's a one-time play, deflected wide. Played over on the far side. I think the goal comes off its moorings with 4:02 to go here in regulation time. 4-2 Hope.
4-2 with 4:02 left. How about that? Either way, the Nets are giving Aiden Fedema a little bit of a break here. They know that he gave up a really tough one, just a perfectly placed shot. So maybe just taking some pity on him and shifting out of position here are the Nets.
We're going to get a Calvin timeout with 4:02 to go. So 2-1 after 40 minutes of play. Brady Bright gets the goal at 1:49 to make it 3-1, but then Tony Eaton off a great feed from Marshall Beaker made it 3-2. Then Ryan Jaros with just a picture-perfect shot off the face-off, upper left-hand corner, 4-2. That's where we stand, and now it's getting to be crunch time for the Knights. And they're talking it over with Coach Petrusma. And this is obviously a big couple of minutes. We'll keep an eye on Fedema pretty quick too, Scott. See when and if they'll pull him for an extra attacker.
Yep, if he's able to get over to the bench in time. But I don't know what they're going to have exactly in their stockpile of tricks here. I don't know how much more these Knights can do. They've had a clean game overall, other than maybe a little bit of the chippiness in the first period. They've been moving the puck pretty well, and largely they've been able to drive some good chances the other way, but Sebastian Wakefield has just been standing on his head, blocking shots every which way.
Well, that's, it's funny sometimes. That's the way it goes in these games when you had a period like Calvin had. Definitely the ice was tilted in their favor, just couldn't solve Wakefield, and then Hope gets that goal early in the third period to get a 2-goal lead. Back to a 2-goal lead after the timeout. Calvin wins the draw. 4 minutes to go. Trailing 4-2. Eaton has it in the neutral zone. His feed now to Ickes up over the line. His shot knocked away by Wakefield. Centering play deflected and held in at the blue line over to the near side. Played around the boards. There's a shot just wide. And then Wakefield gobbles up the rebound with 3:42 to go here in regulation time.
And Vesperini creating some chaos again in the blue paint, but Sebastian Wakefield, as he has shown all night, is able to track it through traffic and immediately slap that glove over the top.
Off the draw, played in the slot, over to the far side. Pratt looks to clear. It is cleared out to center ice. Puck played back down now in the neutral zone area. Eaton leads it to Vesperini. 3:28 to go. Regulation time. There's one towards the net. Eaton went crashing in and knocks the goal off its moorings, and we'll get another face-off with 3:23 to go here in regulation time. Clock ticking away on the Calvin Knights.
Yep, within one, and then immediately giving up that goal the other way to make it well, they call it the worst lead in hockey, but I often don't understand that. I would much rather have a 2-goal lead than a 1, and it seems like that amount with Wakefield in between the pipes may just be insurmountable, barring a miracle for the Calvin Knights.
In behind the goal, 3:15 to go. Puck played by the Knights out to the point with it. Cross ice over to Darmanoff. Tries to set one up, knocked around. Centering play, shot deflected away by Wakefield. Tipped down, and it's going to go into the Calvin end. 3 minutes to go. Regulation time. 4-2 in favor of the Dutchman. Played out into the neutral zone. Here comes Fonovic. He'll skate it up over the line. There's a shot deflected. He gets his rebound back. Played over into the near corner and lifted out into the neutral zone. This one's going to float knuckle right to Petrusma, so there will be no icing. Now played out into the neutral zone. 2:35 to go. Out to center ice. Here comes Ickes up over the line. Centers one. A little bit behind Ciso. Now played out into the neutral zone. Here's an opportunity, but it's stolen away. Calvin looking to try to get something going. Tony Eaton with some nifty stick work. But now the other way, it's knocked down into the neutral zone. Now dropped off. Eaton comes up with it. 2:10 to go. Played over now. Held in with a shot and traffic knocked away. There's a turnaround shot into the glove of Wakefield with 2:03 to go here in this third period.
I had my head on a swivel for a moment there, partner, trying to see when Petrusma was going to charge to the bench, but at least according to the stat sheet that I saw earlier today, Calvin has played exactly 1 minute so far this season with an empty net and given up a goal on it. So maybe not a part of their strategy per se for lengthy periods of time.
Lifted down into the Calvin end, no icing. Good play by the Dutchman to eat up some time with under 2 to go. Here they come now. Ickes tries to knock it away into the zone. Pratt will come up with it. Over the line in traffic, his shot deflected. The puck is loose. There's another shot. Petrusma had to be sharp on that one. And this one will float down into the Hope end. Not far enough for icing. 1:26 to go. Regulation time. Jaros will tip it down into the Calvin end. Desperation time now for the Knights. Pratt will skate it up into the neutral zone. He'll dump it down around the boards. In behind the goal it goes. 1:12 left. Regulation time. Now it's played back out into the neutral zone. Justice plays it back to Ciso. Tipped around to Fonovic. Fonovic skates it up over the line. Over on the far side. Backhand play tipped over to the near side. Under a minute to go. There's one in behind the goal. Puck deflected out to the point. Now back out to center ice. Hope now can taste it. So can their fans. 45 seconds left as it's played cross ice. Now here comes Ickes up over the line. There's a shot deflected. 35 seconds left to go. And this one will be played down into the Calvin end. And we got some pushing and shoving going on now into the corner as we're going to start getting a little bit of frustration as Ayuter and Eaton having a little bit of words. 28.5 left to go as Pratt being whisked away amongst others.
I had noticed behind the play it was Holden Pratt getting a little bit frustrated, and he took a slash to the back of the leg of Palaskis.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, when they meet back up in the other end of the ice, they charge at each other, aiming a little high.
Somebody down, I think, for the Knights, or for the Dutchman, I believe. They helped Doc over there the long time. I don't know what his last name is for Hope. He's been there for 100 years, kind of. He's been there for a long time. Super nice guy. Bringing him over to help as they're going to talk things over at the penalty box area with 28.5 left to go in this one. But barring a miracle, it's going to be the Dutchman and the Lakers tomorrow for the championship of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame, and the consolation game will be the Knights and the Panthers. That one will be a 4:30 puck drop. The championship game will be at 7:30.
And it pains my heart to see some of the Calvin faithful filing out when there's still time left on the clock, but can't necessarily blame them. It's a deep hole that they'll have to dig themselves out of, and potentially shorthanded as well after taking some liberties after the play there.
Yeah, they're talking with Vesperini and Onstadt. You can see the door open to the Calvin penalty box as they kind of settle things down a little bit. Don't know who the injured Flying Dutchman player is. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Well, Scott, this has been fun. Unfortunately, on the Calvin side, it's not fun for them.
Yeah, my Calvin Knight's heart is bleeding a little bit right now, but I have to give the Hope College Flying Dutchmen their flowers here. They stayed with Calvin the whole time. They were opportunistic on some quick transition plays, and man, Sebastian Wakefield between the pipes for them has been a difference maker as well. A well-earned victory for Hope.
Yep, the Dutchmen will take the season series lead 2-1, as Daniel Ciso will go to the box along with Kingsbury so far. So as of right now, it's offsetting penalties. We'll wait and see. But Brady Bright, probably the number 2 star. I'd have to give it to Wakefield, the number 1 star. He kept Calvin with the lead in that Hope with the lead in that second period with some acrobatic saves. And sometimes that's what you need. As we we'll get, it looks like looks like we are going to get a power play as Pratt's going to get a major.
Yeah, we got the 5-minute.
So that's going to pretty much about do it now with 28 seconds left as we get the faceoff deflected out of play, 24 seconds left. So now if you're Calvin, you got to regroup. Come out tomorrow because you got another crosstown rival that you lost to here on home ice earlier this year in overtime, Davenport. So they'll be fired up for that. As
still
the faceoff.
Plenty to play for the Knights. You can't hang your head too much. You made a great effort here tonight as well. Maybe just ran into a hot goalie was the difference.
You don't want to go into a tournament like this 0-2. Neither team's going to want to be that way tomorrow. And if you're Hope, 3 seconds away, they're going to win. 4-2 the final score. As Wakefield shows the Calvin faithful who he's playing for. A well-earned victory for them. Now, if you're Hope, you'd love nothing better to win this Sports Hall of Fame tournament in the first year you play in it. As they win 4-2 here tonight. Brady Bright with the goal in the third period, 1 minute and 149 into the third period to make it 3-1. Tony Eaton at 11:18 to make it 3-2, but then Ryan Jaros with that beauty of a goal about 2.5 minutes later at 14:06. And that's where we end up, 4-2. Hope with the big victory.
Gotta love some of the gamesmanship from Wakefield after it. You just love to see some of that in sports, even if you're on the losing side of it. And one of the traditions I love most in the sport of hockey is after a hotly contested playoff. Oh my God, no.
Well,
Dario,
maybe not.
Calm down. No.
No,
You're ruining the tradition I was talking about.
No, they're trying to separate them a little bit. Well,
game's over, gentlemen.
Yeah, last thing you want to do is get kicked out of tomorrow. You don't want that.
Maybe a little bit of civility to finish things off. We have a few handshakes from a few Knights going through the line.
Well, this has been one of the chippier Hope Calvin games I've seen in quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's definitely a rivalry, that's for sure.
Yeah, one of the chippier ones. I don't know if it measures up. I remember when Austin Huizinga skated over to the Hope bench, just grabbed a guy and started wailing on him while he was on the ice attacking someone on the bench. But still a little bit disappointing to have one of those wonderful traditions in sports. In a playoff type scenario, you always shake each other's hand after the final whistle blows in the hockey match.
Well, and then you've got some of the Calvin players with some of the Hope players over there with the the group prayer after the game, and that's what you like to see too. As it was a very, very rugged contest, very physical, but in the end, it is a game. And congratulations to the Dutchmen as they win 4-2. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Scott, it's been a pleasure. We want to thank everybody for taking time out to be with us here tonight, watching us throughout the world here on the Calvin University Sports Network. For my tag team partner, Scott Cooper, yours truly, Captain Lou, saying keep your heads up, keep your sticks down, keep your feet moving, and as always, keep your minds open. See you tomorrow for the consolation game and the final here on the Calvin University Sports Network.